Okay, first I'm going to talk about this issue. I'll talk to an MLA here, and your name is?
Wes McLean, MLA for Victoria-Tobique.
Now, where's that called, where they had that train derailment? Was it?
Wapski.
Wapski. I never heard of Wapski before. What's the population there?
It's not very big. There were about 150 homes evacuated in that general area, so it gives you a sense.
So, there's a lot of secretive things going on. Okay, so you had the derailment. When did you find out the same?
I knew the derailment right after it happened because a couple of first responders texted me. And so my first step was to notify the Premier and a few colleagues. And within a couple of hours, EMO was on the ground in Plaster Rock. And CN staff made their way there. And then the next morning, the Premier and I went up. And CN President came in that next morning as well. But what was really impressive on this whole thing is first responders held true to their name, as first responders, and did an excellent job starting to work the fire. The village enacted a plan in short order, had an emergency center set up.
The village of?
Plaster Rock.
Oh, Plaster Rock, okay.
So that's the village right by Wapski, right?
How many miles?
It's like 5 kilometers.
Okay,
About 5 kilometers in the center of town, sort of as a...
That close?
Yeah.
Okay, so Plaster Rock was concerned?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
So the village had an emergency plan that they unfolded, and they had the ability to keep people overnight, serve food. Red Cross got on the scene as quickly as they could. But the good thing is, in any small community, as happens quite a bit, people didn't need to use an overnight bed at the Tobiqueplex where they had the emergency center. Mm-hmm. They all found lodging with friends and family. That's just kind of how everyone rolls in a community. So that was a help.
That was help. Now, no media, nobody's allowed to go in there to see what's going on, if the proper procedure is being followed, what they're doing. All we see is truck going in and out and in and out, in and out.
I guess at one point you have to ask, a work site is a work site. You don't want everybody, traipsing around, which could cause another hazard for people.
Maybe put an area.
Heavy industry.
Yeah, we'll seal off an area and say, okay, media, come and see, put a platform or something.
So they want pictures? The RCMP had an aerial photographer right as it happened after. CN had their people up in the air as well. The important thing, environment is there doing its work. Public health is there doing its work.
We don't know that because nobody's allowed to go in there.
Everyone's been doing their jobs accordingly. Public health, I know they were hand delivering letters to residents about water quality being all right. So that work continues. I think at the end of the day, you have to ask, what is, a commercial site where work is happening, and you can't have everybody running around. But certainly you have to balance that with the need for the public to have information.
So we don't know if they say that the minister was there, Susie, but we can't see what's going on. So they're taking the contaminated soil and they're bringing it to Fredericton. Mm-hmm. What's happening?
Well, all I can say is, like I said before, public health was delivering letters the other day saying water quality was safe. So that work has mostly been underway. There's probably still some lab work they have to do. The big thing to remember as well, Transportation Safety Board, that's the group, the federally mandated agency that goes in when any kind of incident like this happens, be it rail, be it air. They were in, they did their work, and they took their findings back, and they're analyzing those findings. So I think you're going to see more information gradually appear as it's processed, right? Because obviously an investigation of a train derailment takes some time to piece together.
How many people are going to die, or how many accidents are going to have? This is a federal issue, but shouldn't we have regulation? There's so many rail cars in St. John right now.
Well, I wrote an article that I put in 2 of our local papers.
Say it right. In what? In the Irving paper?
Well, and the Black Flag Gazette, which is Homegrown right in Perth Andover.
What?
You gotta get a copy.
What's it called?
The Black Fly Gazette.
Black
It's a wonderful.
Fly Gazette?
Yeah, it's a wonderful paper. I publish a column every 2 weeks.
How long has it been in the, is this,
Almost 2 years, year and a half, 2 years.
how they doing, good?
I think so. They're advertising. They get lots of contributors. They cover lots of local
No kidding.
stories. Oh, yeah.
Well, the old thing is so true. You learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
So, Black Fly
Black
Gazette.
Fly Gazette.
I'll check that.
I'll bring you a
me
copy one day. I'll
Okay.
bring you one.
So,
But what I said
Yeah.
in that article was this: there's obviously going to be lessons learned. You know, when I heard of the derailment, the first thing I thought of was something on the magnitude of like Megansik.
yeah,
It goes through your mind.
yeah.
I think everyone's awareness of rail issues, you know, becomes heightened as a result of,
Yeah.
of the travesty.
50 people that died, you think they
Gosh.
would have said, hey,
So luckily in this case,
Nobody died.
Wabski, it wasn't a disaster, it was a significant incident. So what I wrote there is, you know, lessons will be learned, obviously. Lessons for government, lessons for CN. Everybody wants to mitigate risk, but you can never completely eliminate risk. That's the reality. And rail is going to be part of our transportation infrastructure for a long time to come.
oh yeah, the witches
Long
are
time.
going with the oil, yeah. So,
For all types of commodities.
are they going to check again on these people in 6 months from now, or they're just going to be old news? Oh well.
My view
and
is-
if the water is contaminated, bring us to court.
My view is those people are always on my mind because they're my constituents.
You, yes.
My
What
friend.
about CN?
So, absolutely. You know, it's in everyone's interest to work together, right?
So they're not going to say, "Well, bring us to court. You can't blame us. Prove it." They're not. You think that could happen?
I don't want to predict the future. I don't.
Oh, come
I
on!
haven't
You're a
heard-
politician. You can predict the future. No.
I don't want to predict potential legal stuff. I'm not a lawyer. I couldn't even
I don't
pass
blame you.
the
And
LSAT.
you still support show gas after all this?
Absolutely.
Come on, come on, come on. Just maybe you see the light and say, hey, maybe show gas is not a good idea.
Well, what I can say is
I'm
this.
laughing here, so go ahead.
No, I know. What I can say is responsible resource development. Lessons learned from the places where it works well, lessons learned from the places where there have been incidents. Let's create the best rules, best regs. Let's find a way to make it work. At the end of the day, we can't support schools, hospitals, universities without the revenue needed to.
You just came from a caucus meeting. Did they brainwash you well
No.
about show gas? Come on, come on. You don't see the
We
light?
all contribute to the common whole in a caucus, and I'm proud to do that.
Water is so important.
Absolutely.
It's going to destroy the water forever.
Is it? I don't
Yes.
think so.
Put tons and tons of chemical
Let's
down the
create the
ground.
regulations necessary to keep the water safe and keep people safe.
Okay. Nice to meet you again.
Good to see you too.
You too.